Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. So what a week, huh? What a week. In the last 7 days, not only have I lost a mother, but I've now also lost a monarch. Now, obviously, this doesn't affect me as much as some other people, and my thoughts and heartfelt warmth goes to the royal family at your time of loss, and you have the support of me and pretty much most of the nation, really. Amazing woman, both of them actually, and they're both going to share a plate at the end of the show for a month. Right, Monday. Back to the top of the workshop, looking at the top performing map of the moment. If you like this sort of map, you're going to love this particular map, and we'll follow that one up with the longest waiting creator request map straight after the intermission. But before we have an intermission, we have a daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map is Nanao, maybe. Nanao. No, I'm going Nanao, stay with that. Taiwan, vanilla map by Palms Time. I do like Palms Time's work. They've done a load of really amazing assets over the years. So there's your start square, including a lot of Thai-centric buildings, that kind of thing. Terrain heights look like this, taken from real life location in Taiwan, obviously. And then resources, we've got some field painting, but in usable blocks, I would suggest, for this sort of map. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map will look like this. And so off to the workshop. But what do we need? Well, it's 100% vanilla, although it is a mass transit map, so it's mass transit DLC vanilla. If you wish, you can use the Solstice map theme, which is what I'm doing today, and the Real Neutral Relight Neutral LUT by Creative Decks, which I'm also using today. If you don't have any of those, you just want to run 100% vanilla, as long as you've got the Mass Transit DLC, everything will be fine. And everything is fine on this map. It's Palms Time, so we're going to be expecting very solid standards, and that's what we've got. It's not a map. If you're thinking, oh, I need next level detailing, I need twee little, tiny little areas and feature areas, and you're not going to get any of that. What you're going to get in this map are very solid, high standard levels of quality detailing at the sort of level that you need them on this type of map. About the most exciting thing you're going to come across, I'd suggest, is probably these two-tier highways, one slightly higher than the other, and yeah, they work. They work. So this is these aren't particularly easy to do, to be honest with you, unless of course you're using mods, which there's nothing wrong with using mods. Nothing wrong with it, but yeah, if you're using mods, maybe that makes this task a little bit easier. But remember back in the day when you're trying to make this by hand, you didn't even have Move It. Oh wow, that's reminiscing for you, isn't it? Anyway, yes, 2-lane highways, mass transit highways, are leading us down around the coast. A nice little coastal route here. Taiwan, obviously, very famously just off the coast of mainline. I say just off the coast. Yeah, just off the coast. Like we're just off the coast of Europe in the United Kingdom. Yeah, far enough away for it not to be just off the coast, but in the old China Sea there. Yeah. And we won't go into all the politics of it because that's not essential. It's just not essential, is it? These things happen everywhere in the world, and discussions and land borders, and we've had all of that fairly recently with the former Yugoslavia, haven't we? With yeah, even just naming countries can be an issue. I'm thinking of you and North Macedonia. So yes, it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy. Because sometimes you feel that that land is yours. Looking at you, Ukraine, I'm feeling bad about you now, guys. I'm feeling really bad. Shall we talk about the map? Yes. Okay, so we've got a couple tunnels here that lead off this perfectly nice interchange. They actually go off down under the island in the middle there and emerge right on the edge of the map in the island all the way over on the edge. I've not looked at Google Earth to see how accurate the map is for highway layout. I don't think it matters. The map, in terms of how the highways work on this map, it works perfectly. It works absolutely perfectly for this map. The layouts are just really nice and really believable without being stupid or you know, too clever. Let's just start square kind of area. Good size fields. That'll help you block your cities without having 100% grid cities. I like that as well. And then of course we've got a little old bridge here.
I love a bridge.
Oh man, I'm going to be using that too much now. And the more I watch of his channel, the more he says this, you know. Oh, I like a bridge. Yes, you do, don't you? Auto Shenanigans, again, yes. Do check out his channel, especially if you're into UK motorways and service stations and all those sort of things. Yeah, good guy. Very good guy. Anyway, right, okay. We followed the roads to a point where we're going back into the hills. Let's jump across to the rail. Not going to be too much to talk about with the rail either. We've got some tunnels going on with the rail too. The rail is of an equally high standard as we've just seen with the highways. You might go, oh, I don't think I would have quite done that. But it's only things like, I don't think I would have quite done that. And mostly though, I would not change. If I was building on this map today or tomorrow or sometime soon, I wouldn't touch the rail at all. Maybe I'd tweak a couple of bits of the highway, maybe just a kind of bit soft. I'm going to call them soft jinky jankies here and there. Nothing so much that I'm going to, yeah, nothing that I've mentioned. There's the thing, right? So there's some soft adjustments on the highways, maybe. The rail I would just leave. I'm happy with the rail. The rail is good. Rail is very good. Anyway, the rail goes off the edge of the map over there. Right, so if we pull the camera back, so it's a good shaped coastline. I'm good with the coastline. Some very strong hills as well running there, and tree painting I'm pretty good with as well. So I'm all right with that. Now, okay, shipping routes. Shipping routes, if we jump down here to the edge of the map, then there's a couple of minor improvements can be made with shipping routes. First of all, shipping triangle there, quite positive a start. I'm all good for positive starts. That goes off to the edge of the map. And then this heads in towards the coast a little bit, where we have this little like straight line paralleling the coast. But if you were to put your harbour, say, here, and then it connects to here, your ship's going to come up, do a tight turn. And then there's the potential also for a tight turn here, if it's going off the edge of the map, back up this way. So there's some possible slight improvements on the shipping routes. But again, I know a lot of you don't even, they're not that worried. You don't worry. This is like next level stuff, isn't it? Let's not sweat on these things. Right, water flow. We've got a river system. It's not the strongest running of river systems. So again, if you are one that likes to pump and draw, you're just going to have to be a little bit careful because it's not the widest of areas there, and you could pollute your citizens. Or alternatively, you can use mods, or you can use water towers. There are of course, there are other options, but I know there are a few of you that like to pump and draw, and so therefore that's what we look at. Anyway, I think it's a good looking map. Now I am using all the settings that appeared in the screenshots at the end of the screenshots, apart from the render it settings because I don't use or render it. But I couldn't quite get an exact match for the images. Oh, beaches, by the way. Beaches are, I mean, it's a solstice theme, so you're going to get some very nice looking beaches. They're not worked. They are just basically that gradient running up from under the sea. So again, it's not something that I think sometimes it's like, well, I'm not really going to, who's going to be building down there? And the answer is, well, probably nobody. But yeah, the beaches aren't worked into beach shapes. They're just fine. They're absolutely fine for what they do and where they are, and I've just hit the R button. Right, so pull the camera back. There we go. I meant to do that. So there we go. Hills are they're very nice looking hills. It's a good shaped map for hills. The hills are imposing, and the solstice theme and the LUT work very nicely together as well. But yeah, I'm using the right settings apart from render it, and it's not quite an exact match, but I still think the map looks very nice no matter what. Okay, what more? What can we look at? We can look at the bridges. Now, again, this is a few of you have discussed, do we need pillars in the river? Would they have built pillars in the river, or would they built them either side of the river? There is that argument to be had. Again, for the sort of map that we're on, it probably doesn't matter at all, really. The sort of player that plays on this map isn't going to sweat about those sort of details, but I have to kind of mention it. We've got some very nice fields. Again, for the sort of map that we're on, the level of tree painting and tree detailing, and again with the resource painting in the fields to bring out the colours, make some industrial areas, I think these work. I think that's about all you really need from a map. And of course, we've got a secondary area over here. It's basically about the only other place on the map where you're likely to be doing any major building. Again, you'll need the 81 tile mod to be able to really get and do anything over this way, which makes it non-vanilla if you do that. But I have to point these things out. Right, I said there were tunnels running underneath this island off towards the edge of the map. Notice how they're not waggling about. So I don't know. I've changed no mods, and yet this is no different. So I still don't know what's causing my floating tunnels, which where they detach, and I do not know. Maybe one day I'll find out. Anyway, right then at the edge of the map, here's an outside connection that goes down to that trumpet intersection down just outside of the star square that we saw earlier. River systems, they're quite nice. Okay, this one right here at the top, you've got a water spawn point right at the top here where you've got water pushing back. That last section there, it's running off. But again, I don't mind that because it's so close to the edge of the map, it really doesn't matter at all. It's only from here downwards that you kind of want a strong, a stable, and an aesthetically pleasing river. I would say this is aesthetically pleasing to a point. We've got one or two areas where the river just struggles a little bit. Like down here, you can just see a little bit of a dip in strength here, but all told, I would say it's not too bad. Again, where it splits here, we've got a bit of a weakening of the river on either side, and so it goes, and then it merges with the other river over here. Now, if we go upstream in this river, this side of the river struggles a little bit more. It looks like it's going to be okay. It narrows a little bit there, but that's not too bad at all. But then as we go up into the hills, the further we go into the hills, the more little problems, like it looks a bit narrow there and here, and it's definitely struggling here as well. As we get up higher into the hills, again, because it's a 100% vanilla map, I don't mind too much once you go away from the 25 tiles. But yeah, it really does struggle in the upper reaches. If you're using the 81 tile mod, maybe this river could do a little bit of a fix. That's just something for you to consider if you're going to be doing that. But other than that, I like the shapes, and I like the way the rivers are worked. And like I say, right up here, I mean, we're deep in fog here, so mostly nobody's going to notice that one. But I did, because fog is switched off. Right, one last thing to check out. If there's one technical error on the map, I guess it's this one. For those of you playing BonBonBingo, link is in the description. We have one tree under the road. That's it, right here. Again, look how close we are to the edge of the map. Does that really matter? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. It's only shown because of Anarchy, which of course is a mod, which is not vanilla, so therefore it wouldn't show for you either. Right, okay, what do you think of our first map today? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. Hang on, I say this every time, and so many of you don't bother voting. Please make the effort. I'm seriously considering doing away with the viewer's choice and just going with a personal choice at the end of each month, because so few people actually make the effort. Please make the effort. Right, okay, what do I think of today's first map? Nanao, Taiwan, vanilla map by BonBonBingo. Aesthetically, I like this. Now, I'm not going to say I think it really deserves to be at top end of 5 stars, but I think it's solid enough to get into 4 stars, and 4 stars it's going to get towards the lower end. It's not an iconic map, but it's a nice map. Detailing, I would say the detailing on this map is of a pretty decent standard, and I like that it's been done to the level that it needs to be done to, and no further beyond. They haven't pushed the levels. Everything feels just right. I think it's got to get just below middle 4. Gameplay potential. Okay, yes, it could do with a little bit more buildable space, but again, for the sort of map that it is, I think it works fine. I'd like to see a little bit more moving water, and there's some minor gribbles here and there, but all told, again, I think we can go into the lower end of 4 stars for this one too. Nanao, Taiwan, vanilla map by BonBonBingo is, I would say, good enough for anybody who wants this sort of map. They're gonna like this sort of map, and therefore I'm gonna give the seal of approval, because it does exactly what it needs to do to a very decent standard. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll take a brief intermission and come back and look at this creator map right after this. And so on with part 2. Now today's second map is based on the terrain, or the kind of geology, I guess, inspired by the geology, there's the words I'm looking for, of Scotland. Now you're looking at this and going, this looks like a fantasy. Yeah, I would call this a fantasy map inspired by Scotland. Right, we're not saying this is Scotland. Nobody's imagining this to be Scotland. Well, I am now, and I would move there instantly because this is amazing. Anyway, it's a creator request map, the longest waiting creator request map, and it's Stocland by SimonSideburns. I see what you did there with the letters. Stocland, not Scotland. Yeah, it's subtle. I nearly missed it. SimonSideburns, also, what an amazing creator name. There's your start square. That looks very usable to me. I like this start square. Then I have some minor problems after that, but they're only minor ones. Terrain heights are lots of buildable areas, but are there? You'll also notice with the resources, top left-hand corner of the screen, it says Simon's right up there in trees. I did notice that. I forgot to go and look at it during the flyover though, so I'm sorry, Simon. And then we've got a very strong fishing map, very busy fishing map. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, if we scroll down, you'll see the answer is, well, basically nothing. Basically nothing at all. If you're using no controller and intersection marking tool, great. Note this though.
It's my first map.
That's right. So we're going to be a little bit more forgiving than we would be for somebody who's making their 100th map. Just a little bit. Okay, so inspired by Scotland. I'm going to be honest, I don't see it, but one person's inspiration is another person's perspiration. And so you can get inspiration from anything, can't you? You can be inspired. We had that one was some mould in a fridge. Do you remember that one? The lump of mould that was on some cheese. No, it was in a tub of margarine, wasn't it? Inspired by that. When you looked at the map that was produced from it, you did not see that it was mould in a tub of margarine. What you saw was, it was Philadelphia cheese. It's soft cheese, wasn't it? That's what it is. It was a tub of soft cheese. Anyway, you didn't see a tub of soft cheese with mould in it. What you saw was, I mean, frankly, that was a really weird map. This isn't a weird map. This is a fantastical map that is inspired in SimonSideburns' eyes as, from Scotland. And like I say, I don't see it, but that doesn't make this not a pretty decent map in terms of design. I do like the design. There are a couple of minor issues with it, which we'll get to later on in terms of what the design has caused by being in that design. But again, especially the start square, if you want to do a one tile challenge and you want it to be on a pretty design map, this is not a bad map for that. For the one tile challenge, you can go beyond one tile. There's no reason why sirens for those playing BonBonBingo. Sirens. What have we got today? Hang on, let me just have. Where did it go? Where did it go? Can you see it? Oh, it's a fire engine. There we go. Fire engines. He had his sirens on from way out. From way out. So long to see him. Anyway, yes. So distracted by the fire engine. Anyway, yeah, we've got a pretty decently done network on this one. It's quite efficient. And then you would get to this Cat's Cradle intersection. Inspired by every intersection in Scotland, so that one. I guarantee you, if you go down the Google Earth, every intersection will look just like this. Or nothing like this, probably. Anyway, it's a nicely done Cat's Cradle. I think this is kind of sweet. So you've got that going on. The highway then continues off over a couple of big old bridges to the edge of the map over there. We've got a potential start location down here. It's a bit bumpy, but the highway does lead down to that area to get you started. And then if you were to carry on over here, you'll notice just under here a couple of big splashes of blue mantle underneath here and one underneath here. That's as bad as it gets, just letting you know there. And then this highway will then lead you down into what is the start square. And let's say the start square I'm a fan of. I like the start square itself. It just provides you just some slightly interesting shapes, and the fact that it's on a sort of like sort of an island. It is an island. Little bridge there, nicely balanced bridge. I'm okay with that one. And yeah, this then heads down. You've got all of this area to get started on. A little river there with the old Troll's Cave, and a little river running through it as well. Nicely broken up. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat indeed. Anyway, if we were to jump across this way, you'll notice we have some rail over here. Well, we've seen enough of the highways. The rail splits with a junction here. It goes off that way. We're going to come back to this point because I want to go that way, but I really want to go this way as well. We don't often follow double routes on the rail, but I'm going to do that today. This then heads down. We've got a big old little bridge here, little old big bridge. Over here, I do love a bridge. Shut up, shenanigans. Anyway, this then heads off to the edge of the map. Over. Oh, hang on, not directly. Sorry, I'm lost. I'm lost. Goes up and over the hill. So we've got a little bit of a hill. In terms of true realism, it's not a true realism map for the rail. But then, if you look at the map from top down, I think you already knew that. I would imagine. The route is quite pleasing. I'd say they've tried to follow the softer lines on the route. It's not like we're going up and down the steepest parts that are available. I mean, possibly this bit here is the least optimal. But generally the routes follow a fairly pleasing soft route. And nice little straight bridges there are quite nice as well. But yeah, they're like here. We can see going up into the edge of the map there. We've followed a fairly soft... One tree on the line there. We followed a fairly soft line with the rail. So, a big splash of blue mantle over here. I forgot about that one. What's this side? No, this side's good. This side's good. Anyway, that then heads up there. Yeah, it's soft, but it's not realistic. And then had a siren. You can only tick off sirens once. Okay, that was an ambulance. That one. Anyway, we're now heading across the other way that I said we wanted to go. We've got a path running alongside this one, which I did not expect to see. And then the rail climbs again via a switchback, back up this way, and then a switchback over here. Again, steeper than realism, but again, there are a few of you are not going to mind at all. Especially if you're going for that fantastical map, that these things don't matter too much if you're doing that. You might just like the shape of the map, and if you like the shape of the map, then this is probably going to... I like the route that this rail has taken here. That's really nicely, intricately done. Again, realism be damned, but realism is damned. It's so damned. No, especially this last week. I don't want any more realism in my life. Not for a while, thank you very much. Oh my. What's next? What is next in this world? Huh? We got war, we got... I mean, admittedly she was 94, but it was 94. But yeah, monarchs dying, parents dying. Anyway, we'll pull the camera back and we'll have a look at the map from above. And maybe shall we check out some shipping routes? I think we should do that. So, shipping routes. What have we got over here? There's one over here that wends its way around this way. A little shipping triangle there. That's the least you can ask for. And a loop around there. Wouldn't have bothered with the loop. Just a dead end is fine. Just a dead end is absolutely fine. Down here it goes under the big old bridge, which is high enough. No questions with that at all. And then if we head over, so we'll just follow the route this way. The route goes up under another big old bridge, which again is also high enough. No problems with that one. And that loops around. And where are we going? It's one of these maps that's got sort of like just so many waterways that I can't remember where we came from or where we went to. But yeah, that works for me. That's good. You've got plenty of options for your harbours. Right, water flow in the start square. We have this river thing going on here. It's not a particularly strong flow, but there are options, especially like I say, no strong flow there. But it's still moving in the right direction. But we do have that second river running from here, so you can pump from one and draw into the other, and you'll be absolutely fine. So let's not worry on that front. Okay, so I'm saying it's a very nice start square. Very, very nice start square. We've got some interesting shapes going on as well. Some fantastical waterfalls. There are some fantastic waterfalls in Scotland as well, but this is more fantastical than fantastic. Little rivers pouring out the mountain here and here. Like I say, it's more of a fantasy map. I think the general inspiration from Scotland is the rigidity of the map. It is a rugged country. And with some very lush greens up there. Very, very lush greens. And lots of midges. Tree painting is fine. It's a bit sweeping. A bit swooping. We've got some rock work here. I'm not keen on this rock work, by the way. I'm sorry. I'd love to say I love the rock work. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. I suppose. I appreciate the efforts, but it doesn't really win me over. We do have this area down here that looks like it's going to be a great buildable location as well. Big flat plateau with the old ridge running out on the outside. There's an option. There's an option. Remember, 100% vanilla, so I guess we should be talking about vanilla rules as well. And then just checking the big old bridge. Nicely framed big old bridge over here as well. And again, that is high enough for your vanilla shipping. So that's good too. But yes, now this start square, I have a slight problem with it. It's a very nice start square, and I would happily build on that. And again, one tile challenge works really well, but look at for your second tiles. Probably that one's your second tile. Probably that one's your third tile. And then you're within 2 tiles of the edge of the map. So this, for me, then becomes, well, we can move up to there now. You're in, so you can't actually access most of that plateau I just showed you a minute ago. I'm going to actually unlock the 25 vanilla available tiles. Admittedly, you'll only be able to unlock 9 of them if you're playing true vanilla, or if you're using, there's the unlock 25 or 25 mods that you can get hold of as well. But yeah, I'm just going to show you what you actually have with the 25 tiles. I think that's everything. Yeah, right. So in anything outside this white dotted line is not accessible via vanilla rules. We've got a buildable space going up this hill and along here. So maybe that is your secondary area. You're not going to be doing too much on this little area over here. And we've got that area with the intersection, served by the intersection already. So mostly it's all about the island in the middle, and then maybe you're doing a bit of building down here and some at the top. It's an awkward map beyond the start square. That's what I'm kind of saying. So in terms of while I like the overall design, it's not the easiest. Anyway, what do you think of today's second map? And now I'm not going to go through the usual spiel, because the usual spiel isn't getting the reaction. Look, if you want the viewer's choice to keep going at the end of each month, take the effort, look at this map, ask yourself, is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Click the link, choose your vote, boom, done, result. And if you're logged into Facebook, you're already logged into vote, because Google. Anyway, right, that's me getting them with my viewers there. Obviously not you, because you're good. What do I think of this app? Well, aesthetically, do you know what? I really like the overall design. The overall design is pretty nice, okay? Can't give it a 4th star because it's not, I don't know, it feels very vanilla. You know, you get that sort of kind of feel to it. But I love the design. I'm going to go for the top end of 3 stars. Detailing, for the sort of map that it is, I think it is basically what you want and no more. And while there are a couple of areas to hold it down, like the blue mantles and stuff, I still think we're going to go just slightly below middle 3. Gameplay potential, because of the second tile issue and the limitations of it, I think we're going to go, again, lower end of 3 stars. It's playable. You'll have some fun on it. I don't know whether you'll have 9 tiles of fun on it. Stocland by SimonSideburns. Glad to see it. Really nice design. Credit for design, because the design is just striking. It's not one I'm going to forget. Not for a while, anyway. Anyway, well, there's my mum, and there's the mum of the nation there. Rest in peace, both of you. Thinking of you both. And I'm thinking of you. Can you think of an answer? Well, if the answer is using the word in the comments, then you do that to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I will be back again on Wednesday with another Watch Map. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon. Or maybe a little bit sooner. Thanks for watching.